So the first thing with the drive shaft is the old one needed to come out and get split. The plan is to use the original car's rear end and then use that spare drive shaft I had laying around's front end, mate the two together and put it back up, and it should fit with the Get Rag 260. So here we go. The old grease in there had frozen itself onto the nut, making it damn near impossible to take off. Here's the front end from that spare drive shaft, and here I'm putting on a new center support bearing. I chose a Phoebe because I heard of good reviews online. I haven't had any complaints with it so far. There's a ring that fits around the rear end part of the front half of the drive shaft, and that got bent when I removed it last, but I was able to reshape it a little bit and tap it back in place. A piece of PVC pipe works perfect for pressing the bearing back onto the rear end part of the splines. It helps prevent you from damaging the case of the bearing or the races. I loaded up the rear half that was already on the car with lots of grease, and during the removal I damaged some of the threads on there. So just a small jeweler's file and I was able to clean up and recut new threads. Thankfully, BMW didn't change up the spline count like they do on the new cars today, and the front half slid right into the rear half. Perfect. Tightening up these bolts is always a blast, but it wasn't too bad. Next, I preloaded the center support bearing by pushing it forward just about a ½ inch. You really don't need to go nuts on these. And then tighten up the 13mm bolts holding them on. Then I tightened down the nut holding the two halves together, and I really did give it a good crank on there with my adjustable channel locks. Then the drive shaft was installed, and the next part is the exhaust.